Hey guys, happy Tuesday night. Happy end of November. I cannot believe we are almost in December. I have to tell you a funny story before I get started, but I took my kids to the zoo today. We played hooky, went to the zoo, so fun. But I got home and I was like, okay, let me go get dressed, like put on something professional. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show up tonight in just the truest representation of myself, which is busy soccer mom, an avid Georgia football fan, which you guys shout out to the SEC. The championship is this weekend. And so you just get me real, right? Because before I was some mega successful social marketer, which you guys, for the record, never desired to be. Okay. I never set out and said, one day I would like to be the leader of a giant company at the top of a company, a trainer of thousands. Like that was not on my radar. So just a little backstory. First of all, my name's Christina. I should probably start there. I'm a mom of four. My kids range from 18 all the way down to 4 years old. And I started in the exact same situation that you're in. So if you jumped on tonight and you're like, I don't even know if this is for me. Matter of fact, I'm almost convinced it's not for me. Let me just get on so I can have some evidence for why. Or maybe you're like, golly, I wish it was for me. Like I do want what April has or Abby has or Syra has. Like I do want that. So I wish it's for me. But you've got all these reasons why it's probably not. That was me. Okay. So just in full transparency, I'm a school teacher by trade, taught fourth and fifth grade. My whole career, have never sold anything to anybody. And so when this idea of another stream of income presented itself, I was certainly open because as an educator, you have limitations on how much money you can earn. Even with its multiple advanced degrees, you're still capped out at what the state of Georgia says you can make. So I was open to the idea of another stream of income would be really nice. My kids were getting a little bit older, and you think babies are expensive, but in actuality, it's those middle school and high school years and post high school years, now that we have one in college, that really it made my breath catch in my throat, because what I was realizing was that our expenses were expanding, but our paychecks were not. And that made me very nervous. It made me, I had a lot of emotions. That part of me was shameful that, like, would I be able to provide what I wanted to provide for my kids? Would I have to say no to really good things like travel soccer teams, for my son who he eats, sleeps, breathes soccer. Like it's necessary to be competitive in high school. Would I have to say no to that? Or when my daughter made the cheer squad, they sent home the letter that said, hey, public school cheerleading, it's $1,500. Would I have to check the box that said my daughter can't participate? But where was I going to get $1,500 as an educator? Because we were, paycheck to paycheck, and we were comfortable, but we certainly didn't have thousands of dollars. So was I open to more money? Yes. I think most Americans today would say, I am open to making more money. Like that's really, when I have to have conversations like this, getting someone open to seeing a need for additional income, not usually the conversation I have to have. Okay. The conversation is usually, I'm open to more money. I just am not sure I have what it takes or that this can be it. So if that's how you showed up tonight, you're welcome here, because that is exactly where I started. And my goal tonight is not to convince you that this is for you. Matter of fact, it may not be. I can't tell you whether or not this is for you, but I can tell you what it was that made me lean in and take a closer look. And then what it is that built my belief enough to be all in, to go from I'm going to try this to no matter what, I'm going to build this. Because if I thought about building something like a Chick-fil-A, there would be zero way to take a Chick-fil-A from like in the clouds to on concrete, fully functional without a decision to do so, right? Most people who start a Chick-fil-A, they don't start with the idea that they'll just try it out. Like they make the decision, they purchase the franchise, they go through the process, they build the thing. That's exactly what it looks like to build something here. You go through the process, you learn the skills, you build the thing. So I have some notes over here to the side. So just know if I'm over here, this is what I'm doing. And what I would love for you to do is jot down questions. If we have some time at the end, I'll release whoever needs to go. But if there are questions, I'm here. Like, I'm here tonight exclusively for you guys. I didn't open this call up to anybody else outside of your team. So I want you to take advantage of that. Ask the questions, be as vulnerable as you're willing to be. That's what I'm here for. So a few things before we jump in is, before I can tell you anything about the nuts and bolts of building this, we're going to have to hit on the 3 things that you must possess or be in the process of possessing in order to be successful here. Now, let me free you from something real quick. You're not going to have all 3 things right now. Most of the time, people struggle with 1 or 2 of these areas. Some people struggle with all 3, and that's okay. So ahead of time, before I say the first thing you need is this, and you think, oh my gosh, well, I don't have that. Like, I'm already disqualified. No, you're not. Just know that you can build it. Okay. So the first thing that you have to be successful here is belief. You have got to have belief in what you're offering people. We're in the health and wellness business, which means we market health supplements. That is our job. And in order for you to be successful doing that, you're going to have belief. People will say all the time, well, I just don't want to be salesy. That's not actually true, because we are selling things all day, every day. You go to a job interview, you're selling yourself, right? You walk in to buy a vacuum, there's someone selling the vacuum. You walk in down the fair at a carnival, people are selling their carnival games. Like, the selling is not what bothers people. It is the perception of having to be pushy or having their own agenda, or the idea that they're going to have to market something that they're not quite sure could be a solution. Okay. Because when you have rock solid belief in what you're offering somebody, your boldness and willingness to do so increases exponentially. Let me tell you how I know. If my house were on fire right now and you had a smoke detector, not a smoke detector, that wouldn't be helpful, a fire extinguisher, you had a fire extinguisher, you would be real confident that that fire extinguisher could solve my problem, right? Like, y'all would be pounding down my door saying, you need my fire extinguisher. Like, your house is on fire. I see the fire. I know I can help you. You need my fire extinguisher. Like, you wouldn't care what the other neighbors thought. Like, you would just be intent on making sure that I got the fire extinguisher. So as your belief is growing in these products, that is the confidence you'll have when you're sharing it. So why are our products superior? Why are our products necessary? Why are our products the reason that this opportunity is what it is? You guys, I love our products. And because of our products, we have the opportunity that we have at our fingertips. And it has changed our families' lives tremendously, right? So the reason that our products are so effective is because they're not limited to a specific gender. It's not specific to a race. It's not specific to an age. It's not specific to a location, ethnicity. If you have a gut, our products are for you, because every single thing that people struggle with can be traced back to basically the same 3 root issues, if you will. Well, for simplicity's sake, gut health, blood sugar balance, and inflammation. Those are the 3 things that you have to know. You don't have to learn anything else about our products to be successful here, because we have tools and resources that will do the heavy lifting for you. You need to know our products help with gut health, blood sugar balance, and inflammation. And you can find a connection between one of those or a combination and anything that people struggle with. I don't care how big their struggle is or how minor and annoying it is. Like, we're talking big things like autoimmune issues, etc., and small things like dandruff. If you go and Google dandruff and gut health, you're going to find thousands of scientific articles that show the correlation here. You go and Google big things like IBS and thyroid, just anything that you would think of could be debilitating. Go Google that with inflammation, with gut health, with blood sugar balance, and you're going to find a correlation there. So in order to be successful here, you have to believe that these products can change people's lives. Well, Christina, I don't believe that yet. That's okay. You can build that belief. How do you do that? You should be in a health testimony page, reading health testimonies, familiarizing yourself with other struggles that you don't have, that other people have had victories with, so that when someone comes up and they have a struggle different than you, you can be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I remember reading about a girl who struggled with gaining weight and our products were able to help her. Interesting. Let me go find that story. Or somebody says, hey, I'm having a hard time going to the bathroom. And you say, oh my gosh, I remember reading a story about that. Like that wasn't my struggle, but it was so-and-so's. Let me find that story for you. So you can build that belief. And you can, and your job here, if you decide to do this, your job here is you are finding solutions for people who are looking for solutions. People are looking for solutions. It's just your job to provide the link to show them how our products can be a solution to their problems. And then the reason that our products continue to be so effective is they're focused on long-term health. You're not going to find us marketing quick overnight results. You're not going to find us marketing, take this product for 30 days and ta-da. That's not what we believe. We believe that moving your body, fueling your body, and filling in the gaps with supplements, that is how you create long-term overall health and wellness. And that's what you're going to see us provide support for. That's what you're going to see our company back. So that's what we do. So you got to build belief in your products. You have to do that. And we can help you do that. There are a lot of us who have unshakable belief in our products. You guys, people will say all the time, well, I haven't seen my own results yet. So how do I know that it's true? And here's what I tell them. So I'm a Christian and I have 100% confidence that if I were to fall over tonight, right there, dead as a doorknob, that I'm going to heaven. Have I ever been to heaven? Nope. But I have done so much studying. I'm very confident that's where I'm going. I'm very confident that I can help somebody else get there too. Right? So I feel that exact same conviction and passion when I'm talking about health supplements. I might not have struggled with migraines, but I've read and studied so much that I know this can be a solution for them and that I'm willing to help find that link and connection. So, all right, belief in our products, you have to have it. Number 2, you have to have belief in network marketing. Now, this is where I struggled. I believed in our products and I had rock solid belief in the third thing that I'm going to tell you about. But this thing, belief in network marketing. So I was an educator and I feel like, especially in the South, being a teacher comes with a certain amount of credibility and respect automatically. And so I was worried that I would be risking something, risking my reputation, risking my respect. I don't know, but just afraid that could I do this? Was this legit? Were people actually making money? And was it sustainable? Could I provide a secure income for my family? Because I really deeply value freedom. And I also really deeply value security. And so for me, that's where I had to work on building my belief. So here's what I know. I know that network marketing is the fastest growing and highest paid profession in the world. We're talking about industry-wide. Okay. So that was attractive to me, obviously. I learned that network marketing companies have choices in where they invest their money, right? You look at companies like Nike, they're investing their money in like top dollar athletes to come in and wear their shoe and say, this makes me run faster, jump higher, whatever. Our company just chooses to invest their advertising dollars into the hands of ordinary moms and dads and women and men who are just attempting to build this thing, because word of mouth has always been the best advertisement. And that has not changed. And that's why I believe that you're seeing so many companies go toward this social marketing route, especially since 2020. Especially people are realizing, oh, what we thought was secure over here and traditional, sometimes maybe outside of our control, but word of mouth will always be effective. So, that's what I love about this. I love in my industry in network marketing that this isn't about how much product I can sell. This is about what kind of an organization can I build? Who else can I help be successful? The more people I help be successful with their goals, the more successful I am with my goals. And so if I'm looking around, would I rather 100% of my income be 100% on me alone? Or would I rather my income be based off of the efforts of lots of people who are also working to grow their own income, to meet their own goals? I'll give you a hint. I'd much rather work with people all day, every day, who are all rowing in the same direction. what do you get here in this business? Why is this an effective opportunity? Well, for $9.95, you get a business in a box. You get a customer service department. You get a legal department. You get shipping. You get product inventory, innovation. You get everything that you need to go be successful. You don't have to create anything. You don't have to figure out how to brand anything. You don't have to figure out how to ship it. You don't have to figure out any of the legalities behind it. $9.95. Actually, right now it's $1. This week it's $1. $1, build a business. Like, it blows my mind. Whereas most companies, if you're going to come in and create a business, you're talking about thousands of dollars of upfront cost, massive amounts of overhead. They're going to have to stockpile inventory. Like, all of this requires cash, right? Like liquidity. Here, there's no overhead. You're not having to handle any inventory. It's all built in for you. You get to leverage a big name, a $500 million company. You get to leverage that from home, in your yoga pants, homeschooling, working your full-time job, whatever. You get to leverage a big name, little old me, right? Okay. I love that we have a quick return on our investment. People say, oh, is that one of those network marketing things? Y'all, I'm over here like, you bet your bottom dollar it is. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't. Because why? A quick return on my investment. If I have a mama who is saying, hey, I want to build a business here, but my family has legitimate financial needs right now, I can look her in the face and say, okay, April, listen, I can help you make several $100s right now. You guys, I have several girls on my team who are brand new. Second half of November, they're pocketing $1,000 Christmas cash that before they joined in the middle of November, they had no idea how they were buying Christmas. But I can say, listen, take this chance with me. Come do this with me. Let me help you get a quick return on your investment. We're paying people quicker than Burger King is paying people. You go work at Burger King, you got to work for 2 weeks, then you're in the pay scale, then you get a paycheck. Not here. A quick ROI. Sometimes that's what people need. Okay. This is a people helping people business. Obviously, people have problems. I'm their solution. And what do I get out of it? Well, I'll tell you, recognition. So I'm a type 3. So I love anything competition, anything recognition. You get that. And sometimes as an educator, sometimes as a speech therapist, sometimes as a doctor or a lawyer or a homeschooling mom, recognition, it's rare. Very rarely do my kids come and say, Mom, you're doing a spectacular job, right? That's just not what we get. But here, there is weekly shout outs. There's leaderboards. You get to be on stage. There's prizes. I mean, it's just unreal. Talk about incentives. I've won, and not just me, hundreds of people on our team, Apple Watches, MacBooks, Remarkable tablets, thousands and thousands of dollars in cash. You guys, I have one of those big, like, Price is Right checks that I won one time in a contest. They're just like, hey, do your job. Get paid a $10,000 big Price is Right check. Like, these kinds of things are things that people, they don't think really happen, and they do. They do happen. And we have winner after winner after winner on our team. Right here on April and Abby's team, we have winner after winner after winner. We've had cruises. We've had shopping sprees. Me and April went to Portugal this year, first class all the way. We've been all over the place. Hawaii, Mexico, trips, you guys, trips that you get to take your family on. I mean, there's just nothing else like it. Community. I mean, I don't have to even speak to community on this team with this group, because y'all have created such a culture and such a tight-knit group. Guys, you get a posse when you join. Like, the group of girls that, if you're like me, you grew up at a table with some girls, and when you got up to have to leave the table, you had that little bit of doubt in your brain, like when I leave this table, am I going to be the topic of, like, you guys know, it's women, right? This group, this team, this culture, it's unlike anything I've ever seen. It's just a sisterhood. So you get that community and culture. I'm trying to fly here, y'all. Okay. Obviously there's a generous comp plan for sharing what we love. You guys, I share things all the time. I shared today about my trip to the zoo and how people could get free zoo tickets. Like we share things that we find that we love. We share, if we find a new restaurant, we're telling people about it. If we find a new brand of blue jeans, especially the new flares, we're telling people about it. Earrings, jewelry, we're telling people what we love. This is no different. This is just something else that we love. Why network marketing? Nowhere else can you take a 30-year career and condense it into 3 or 5. You just can't. I could have taught for 30 years and I would still be making a fifth of what I'm earning now. It wouldn't have mattered how long I taught. It wouldn't have mattered how creative I was. A fifth of what I'm earning now. And guys, I've only been doing this for 6 years. 6 years. And I've been at this level for 2.5 of them. Okay. Here's, for those of you who love numbers, here's what I want you to know. Statistics show 90% of people, that means 9 out of 10 people who consistently work their business are guaranteed to reach the top of their company within their first 10 years. Some of them are going to do it much quicker. Some of them are going to do it much longer. Here in Plexus, average is about 4. On average, about 4 years. Now, April came in, she did it in 2. It took me 4. So I'm average. I'm okay with that. But so, I mean, average 4 years, but I just told you earlier, I could have taught for 40 years, full-time hours and never come close. Here, I'm free to build my own schedule. I'm free to decide where I'm working from. And I mean, make exponentially more than I could have ever even imagined. Okay. So build your belief in network marketing. What did I do to build my belief? I read books. And I listened to smart people. I read a book called Millionaire by Halftime. I read a book called Power of 5. I just started doing some research. There's lots of studies out there on network marketing in the industry as a whole. I heard an interview that Donald Trump said years and years and years ago, before he was a politician. He was on stage at this financial conference and someone said to him, Donald, you're like one of the most successful businessmen on the earth. I'm curious, if you lost all of your money today, what would you do to rebuild it? And without skipping a beat, he said, network marketing. And the audience kind of laughed and was like, whatever. And he said, see, this is why I'm up here and you're out there, because I can recognize an opportunity when I see it. So guys, build your belief in network marketing. You got to have a belief in the products. You got to have belief in network marketing, and you've got to have belief in yourself. You're going to have to believe that you have what it takes to do this, and that whatever you are lacking, you can grow. You got to be willing to be bad at something to be good at it. We all start out bad at this. I don't know a single person who came in and was a natural in every single area that's required to be successful here. Some of us were better than others in some areas. Some of us were better than others in others, but no one has it all figured out. I tell people all the time, I'm just perfectly willing to be a disaster on the way to becoming a master. Like, I'll figure it out. If other people have figured it out, you guys, so can you. So can you. So here's what I know. Your thoughts will determine your beliefs, and your beliefs will determine your actions. So whatever you are thinking, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, that is going to determine what you create. It really is as simple as making a decision. I'm going to do blank, whatever it is, and then keeping that promise to yourself. It's just as easy to keep the promise as it is to break it. And it comes with a whole lot less regret and shame. Okay. I think it's important to know that you will never, ever outperform the quality of your thinking. This business is 80% mindset. I can teach you the 20% skill set. Abby, April, they can teach you the 20% skill set. You only got to master a few things, and we're about to get to the few things, but guys, listen, until you are willing to work just as hard on yourself as you are on building something like this, you're going to always wonder if it's possible. You can't outperform the quality of your thinking. So what are you telling yourself when you're sitting down to do this? What are you saying? What are you saying about the fact that okay, I've got to connect with so-and-so today. Am I over here saying, I know that I have something that could help them? I understand that people are praying for relief and I have solutions. Because if you're thinking that, what you will believe is that you are a solution finder. What you will feel is empowered. How you will behave is taking action and being bold. But if you're over here worried about, oh my gosh, what is so-and-so going to think about me? What is, Sally going to think what if Sally thinks that I'm weird? Like, you're going to believe that maybe this isn't for you. You're going to avoid doing the things necessary to build this. But guys, I'm telling you, you can build this, but you can't outperform the quality of your thoughts. So, let me say this too. You are not a victim of your circumstances. Now, are there actual victims in the world? Yes. I'm talking about in the world of this, building this. If you sit down and you think, oh, I can't do this because I'm not outgoing. I can't do this because I don't have what she has. I can't do this because I don't have a big network. I can't do this because I'm a stay-at-home mom with a bunch of kids here. I can't do this because I'm a working mom. I can't do this. You're not a victim of that. There is someone in my company with my same level of success who I could personally introduce you to, who has done what you're saying you want to do with your same circumstances. We got single moms who have done it. We got working moms who have done it. We got stay on, and we got it all. We got dads who have built it. We have pastors who have done it, pastors' wives we've done it. So whatever you're thinking, like, oh yeah, well, I wish I could do what she did, but this is going to hold me back. It doesn't have to. Only you can decide if it will hold you back. Okay. 80% mindset, 20% skill set. Think about this. When a baby is learning how to walk, what do babies do when they're learning how to walk? They obviously fall down. But we don't go up to that baby and say, hey, you know what? Walking's really not for you. Walking's not your thing. Like that didn't come natural for you. You should probably just scoot the rest of your life. No, we tell that baby, get up, try again. You got this. Same thing goes when kids are learning to ride a bike. None of us say, oh, that was embarrassing. You fell down. Like, don't ever try that again. We're like, boy, get up, put some dirt on it, get on the bike, fail forward. That's the kind of attitude you're going to have here, because we all have the same challenges. We all want to be accepted. We all want people to know the true intention of our heart. We all hope that people will be accepting and accept. We all have these same consequences and these same circumstances and these same outcomes. We're going to have people who decide to jump in and do this and then walk away. And you're going to be left to like wrestle with those emotions. It's normal. You're going to have people who you just knew that they were going to be the ones to go the distance with you, and they're not going to go anywhere. And that's okay. That's also normal. But it's who you're going to become in the process of working through these things that you won't recognize yourself in 5 years for the growth that you have done. Okay. And I believe before we get into the next part, guys, everything worth having is right outside your comfort zone. Anything worth having is going to have its challenges. Anything that you decide to endeavor in is going to have a learning curve. You can't go to Burger King without having to learn the menu and how to work the cash register and how to work with people. Like, you got to learn these things. This is going to be no different. I'm not here to tell you this is going to be easy, but it is very simple. Once you learn these skills, you practice them, you get good at them, and then you repeat them and help other people learn the same things. If this were a college course, you guys, network marketing would be the easiest one. I'm not even kidding. It would be the easiest one. So why don't more people do it? I think it's a lack of belief, number one. Fear, number two. And guys, we're called to not be fearful of man, right? No, listen, you're praying for an opportunity perhaps, and God is over here going, here's April, here's Abby again, here's Andrea again, here's Sarah Marie again, here's Syra again. And we're going, no, not that opportunity, God. Like, give me one that's more comfortable, God. And he's over here going, but I got this one for you. This one that you can have influence, and you can have a platform, and you can have the ability to connect with people who ordinarily you would never have an opportunity to connect with. I got this opportunity for you if you're willing. Okay. So let's say you're willing. What do you need to know? Well, number one, you're going to have some fuel for your business. We talked about belief being the foundation. Everything that you're going to do moving forward has to do with belief. But what's going to fuel that? What is going to make you take the action necessary to build this? Well, it's going to be your why. It's going to be your why. And I don't mean this like hokey, like your why has to make you cry. I'm not a crier. You're not going to catch me crying, but you are going to catch me feeling very excited and passionate to do hard things. Sounds ridiculous, I know, but when what you want is on the other side of hard things, you're willing to do it anyways. You say, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. Listen to this scenario. This is one I came up with recently. I don't know if it's good or not, but we're on an 8-lane highway. Okay. 8 lanes, semi trucks, like all kinds of traffic. But I look up and one of my 4 kids is on the other side of that interstate. I don't know how he got there, but he's sitting over there on the other side of it. Here's what I want. I want that kid that's on the other side of this busy interstate, right? Like I need that kid. Not having him is not an option. I got to go get that kid. I'm not all of a sudden concerned with what the people around me think. I'm probably going to be acting a fool, right? I'm going to be like doing things that other people aren't doing. I'm going to be going into that first lane. I don't care how loud the semi truck's honking. I don't care how long it takes me to get to lane 2. I don't care what my hair's doing. I don't care how many hand gestures I get. I'm going to figure out how to conquer the interstate to get what I want. No questions. That's how your why has to be here. Whatever you're saying, I need this business because this circumstance in my life has to change. You're going to have to want it so bad that not getting it hurts worse. So for me, what did I want so bad? I wanted freedom. I wanted freedom. I started out wanting just some leeway. I started out wanting kind of a relief, right? Financially, I just needed some relief. I needed to not have to worry about how we were going to pay for a vacation because we were going to go on the vacation. Y'all, I've always loved my life. Even before Plexus, even when I was a teacher not making a lot of money, I found ways to love my life. It usually looked like credit card debt. But I meant I was going to enjoy what God had given me as far as my kids went. So I wanted relief, but then when I got some relief, what it gave me was options. And then I wanted freedom. I wanted the ability to expand our family. I wanted the ability to have total control of my time. That's what I wanted. And so that's what made me willing to face the rejection or to face the fear of what someone might think. That's what made me willing to overcome people who had quit or who decided this wasn't for them. The what I needed to change was so important that not getting it felt even worse. So I was willing to choose my heart. Okay, so here's a question for you. If your calendar was empty and your bank account was completely full, what would you be doing? Most people can't answer that because they have learned to stop dreaming. Like they've been told to sit down and shut up so many times that the idea that they could create something other than what is normal or customary, it is outside of their realm. They can't comprehend. But I really want you to think, if my calendar was empty, like I didn't have to report to someone and my bank account was overflowing, where would I live? What would my husband spend his time doing? What would my kids be doing? Where would they go to school? What kind of house would we live in? What kind of cars would we drive? I'm a vacation person. I'm an experienced person. What kind of vacations would we take? And then how would that make me feel? Like, what if I could book a cruise whenever I wanted with my family? What if I could up and go to Canada with my family? What if I could build the dream house with my family? Guys, I really believe that you have the ability to design your life. If other people are doing what you're saying you want, there are people who are being as successful as you're wanting to be. It just means they're thinking differently than you are, and they're doing things that you're not yet doing. And the good news is you're in control of both. You're in control of both. You're just going to have to be proactive. You're going to have to learn how to think like a successful person. You're going to have to learn how to think like someone who is a millionaire, right? And then you're going to have to take the action steps to build it. Guys, there's a book called Everyday Millionaires. It's one of the best books. I love it because none of the millionaires in the book, which for the record, like 80% of millionaires, they're self-made. They're not in, they don't inherit their wealth. They're self-made, and they're self-made with ordinary people like me and you. So when I read Everyday Millionaire, I'm like, these people are doing it. I'm going to do it. And this is going to be the avenue that I'm going to do it, because in the meantime, on the way to being a millionaire, I want to take the fancy trips, and I want to win the fun prizes, and I want to have all the recognition and the culture and the community and the growth. I'll have that, please. Okay, you can too. So you're going to have to be willing to give this time to grow, but really be spending some time thinking, what would your community look like if you were making $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month? What would it look like if you were able to tithe what you currently make in a year? What if 2 years from now, your tithe was what you're making in a year right now? What if you could tithe that? Wouldn't that be awesome? You can. So you're going to have to be willing to give this time to grow. You're going to have to be willing to learn and to work. And guys, let me warn you, if you decide to do this, avoid the comparison trap. There are going to be people who come in and are much slower than you. And there are going to be people who come in who are much faster than you. There are going to be people who come in that are flashier than you. And there are going to be people who come in who are more subtle than you. Stay in your lane. You've got fantastic leaders. You've got fantastic systems. Stay in your lane. Comparison is the thief of joy. Stay in your lane. And then I would tell you, it's not going to be easy, but it will 100% be worth it. And I've asked my family multiple times over the years, like, hey, is this worth it? Like, is this still worth it? Looking back, was it worth it? It's very important to me that my grown kids, all the way down to my littles, that they feel like this is worth it. Like, mom works hard, but it's worth it. And 100% of the time they're saying yes, 100% of the time. So, okay. So we've got foundation is belief. The fuel for your business is your why. Guys, if you're not crystal clear on what you want, you are not going to get it. You can't be fuzzy here. Freedom, like freedom is a thing. Like I wanted that, but I could tell you explicitly why. I could tell you what was lacking in my life because I didn't have it. And I could tell you exactly what I expected to change when I did get it. And y'all, I was right. So crystal clear. Okay. Foundation, fuel. Now the fruit of your business. How is it going to come to be? It's my favorite one to talk about. And the word is action. Went to the zoo today. So we were hollering and laughing all day. So pardon me. Okay, action. The good news is, everybody take a deep breath. There's only 4 things you have to master. 4 pillars. Bottom, like the foundation, obviously is belief, but then we have 4 pillars. You can master them. There's skill sets that you can master. Number 1, you're going to have to learn how to share Plexus. We call it recruiting. It's like some jargon, but basically share what you have. You're going to have to learn how to open your mouth and talk about Plexus. You have to learn this skill. The only way to learn it is to watch some training, get some advice, some feedback, and then go practice, and then bring the results for more feedback. So engage in the process of introducing Plexus to someone, ask how to do that well, be willing to try repeatedly, and then bring those results and say, hey, okay, here's what I did today. Here's what I got back. What are your thoughts? How can I improve here? Be willing to get that critical feedback. There's a ton of training in how to effectively recruit. The leaders on this call have made a lot of them. Plenty of training. April, Abby, we can all show you where to go find that training. But the main thing is what you can't get from a training video, you guys, is feedback. So be sure that you are getting feedback. Number 2, you're going to have to learn how to keep the people you get. That's called retention, another fancy word. Basically, help people get good results. Plug them into the tools that we have. Pivotal is a great tool. We're going to talk more about that Monday. The perks report, that's what helps get them free products, like help support people, love their products. There's a great retention system. Again, it's a matter of learning the skill set, use the system, execute. Okay, number 3, this is where the magic happens. It's called duplication. And this happens at the same time as recruiting. If you want to build quickly, you're going to practice recruiting with duplication at the same time. This isn't let me master recruiting and then work on duplicating. This is both and, because success loves speed. Okay, success loves speed. The girls who have come in and built the quickest, guys too, they come in, they get a few of their friends to try the products with them, and then they get some of those same friends to run with the opportunity. And you have people in the boat rowing in the same direction. Success loves speed. So plant seeds from the beginning. You don't have to have any level of success to tell somebody where you're headed. There's something about you that has made you want to do something like this. Share that. And share it with excitement and passion. Be just as excited to talk to people about the opportunity as you are about the products. And you can do that by building your belief. Go watch diamond documentaries. There are people just like me, just like April, who have these short videos that say, hey, because of Plexus, this is what my life looks like. This is where I started. This is where I am. Watch those videos so that you have just stories in your brain. That way, when that teacher friend of yours needs an out from teaching, you can say, hey, like that reminds me of my friend Christina. I watched her story. Let me send it to you. Like this might be an answer. Okay. Plant seeds from the beginning. Guys, people are going to say no at first. Most of you probably have said no already, at least one time. It's normal. It's just normal. People don't wake up and say, today I would like to be a social marketer, please. That's just not how this works most of the time. Expect them to say no. Lean in and be curious about their objections. Be compassionate and be curious and just be open to some dialogue. Learn the stories so that you can cast vision. Cast vision just means help somebody see what they're not loving about their life and then help show them how this could be a solution. They don't have time, but don't they want time? They don't have the money, but don't they want the money? They don't have the community, but don't they want the community? They don't know enough, but don't they want the growth? Help figure out how this could be what could change things from them. And that vision is going to come from your belief and your conviction that you are going to achieve it. They are not going to heed the sound of an unsure trumpet. So you're going to have to be rock solid in your decision to do this. You don't have to have any of the results yet. You just have to be rock solid in your decision to do this. It takes a leader to believe in someone before they're going to believe in themselves. That was true for me. That was true for April and Abby. It's going to be true from now until kingdom come. It's going to take someone who can see where somebody could be and then call that potential out in them. It's why I have a personal trainer. Like I expect that he can see where we could be and call that out in me. When I feel tired, when I feel run down, when I feel unmotivated, when I feel discouraged, I expect that he can see beyond that and where we can be, and that he's going to equip me and encourage me to get there. It's going to take you being their leader to help them figure out how to get to that next step, how to move forward just a little bit. Okay, be willing to follow up. If you can get people on the products, but you cannot get people sharing this opportunity, it's because you're not sharing the business 8 to 12 times. You're just not willing to follow up about the opportunity. You're going to have to be willing to follow up about the opportunity. Follow up, and the willingness to do so comes from belief. If you really believe that this could be an answer to their prayers, you'd be telling them. If you really believe that you are going to be making $30,000 a month, you would be telling your close friend, you'd be telling your sister, you'd be telling your cousin, you'd be telling that new mama that just joined you. You'd be telling her, because you'd be saying, hey, come with me. I'm going to go there. Come with me there. Okay. And then the last thing that you have to master is leadership. Leadership is influence. It's nothing more. It's nothing less. Basically, what leadership means is you're helping people who have goals reach their goals. You're empowering people with systems You are calling out their potential. You're instilling vision and belief. And then when they're getting into action, you're helping their action be effective. You're providing that critical feedback. You're providing that encouragement. You're helping them create their why. And then you're helping pour that belief into them every single step of the way. Last thing I'll tell you, and then we'll end, is you can't drag people. You can't want this for somebody any more than they want it for themselves. So just know, if you're on this call tonight, we don't expect to drag you. We don't want this for anybody on this call that does not want this for themselves. There will be people who aren't willing to do what we've been willing to do, and that's totally fine. But we are looking for those who are willing, those who do want the results that we have gotten, and who are willing to learn and grow and fail forward, because I'm telling you, this opportunity has allowed our lives to look radically different than they would have otherwise. And it's not just me. It's not just the one at the top. There's hundreds of us on our team who would say the same exact thing. So guys, if this is for you, if you're like, you know what, had my big toe in, now I'm ready to put a whole leg in, or my whole body, or whatever, guys, I would encourage you to just think really big. This could be as big as you wanted it to be. So I hope this is helpful. We do have 11 minutes left in the hour that I carved out. So if there are questions, I mean, I'm okay with you guys unmuting. Obviously, we ask that people keep this positive, value add for the group. So if there's something that's a little more personal or private, or you're just not sure if this is the space, bring that offline. We'll be glad to help you. But if there's something that you guys want to chat about, let me stop the recording, and then we'll open